Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown. I want to welcome y'all all to this very special mastermind class that we're going to be doing today, talking about sales for shy folks. And you might be wondering, Shay, why is this topic important? Because there's a myth out there right now, and the myth kind of goes around as, do you have to be an extrovert to be able to sell? Or if you're shy, then selling is not the thing that you can do. And I want you to know, I'm going to debunk that today. I'm going to show you exactly why you, the sales professional, you, the entrepreneur, you, the expert, you can do this. And here's the good news. Day. My name is Shay Brown. You don't have to be an extrovert. And I'm going to share that. And that's one of the main things that we're going to be talking about today. I'm just going to double check a few things that I like to do just as we get going. Let me do that right now. And so what we're going to be discussing today, excuse me, let me get some water here, is sales for shy folks. But more importantly, I'm going to be talking about the authentic sales approach. And the authentic sales approach is, how do you sell like yourself? And, the number one challenge facing entrepreneurs today, is not do they sell, but how do they be authentic? How do they be themselves? I want to welcome all of you who are tuning in. And as you're just tuning in right now, I want you to think about it. Are you an introvert or are you an extrovert? Or does it even matter? And what would it mean? What would it look like for you if you were able to instantly be able to connect and do it in an authentic approach? And I want you to think, what does the word even authentic even mean to you? Now, is this a conversation you need to pay close attention to? 100% yes. Like when I say 100% yes, I mean 100% yes. So I'm super excited. I know many of you are just dialed in for the first time. Let me say hello to Paul and Pamela and everyone that's out there today. But this is a masterclass. And you might be wondering, just as you're tuning in right now, who is this conversation defined for? Excuse me. Let me get some water here. Excuse me. Who is this conversation for? Who should even pay attention to what we're going to be discussing right now? And are you at the right place at the right time? Let me back up and say a couple things. One, if you become shy during the sales process, at any point in the process, that means that you have not a resistance, but all of a sudden you kind of step back. It doesn't mean that you're meek. It doesn't mean that you're a pushover. It just means that something changes in your disposition, and yet you have to be the person that sells in your company or the revenue doesn't come in. And maybe you have a team, and I'm going to share with you why, even if you have a team, it's very important that you identify if they are extrovert or not. And we're going to do an exam. We're going to do a test that I'm going to share with you in just a moment. Or if you're someone right now that's watching, you say, Shay, I just hate to sell. I have a fear of selling. In fact, when it comes to selling, I shy away from it. That's where my light doesn't shine. That's where the best part of me doesn't come out. I don't mind serving. Gee, where's my voice? I don't mind serving, but I know at the end of the day, if I don't sell, then I don't generate any revenue. And if I don't generate any revenue, then I can't stay in business. So if you have a fear of selling right now, then you're at the right place at the right time. This conversation is for you. Or if you just become nervous, like, for example, I was coaching another client. What's up, Helen? Good to see you. Montrese in the house. What's up, Arthur? And one of the things I noticed that when I was on the sales presentation with the person is they didn't consider themselves a shy salesperson. They really didn't. They're really an extrovert, but we all have tendencies, right? And I noticed that whenever the person was making an offer, now I was there with them. So I'm on the presentation. I'm not live face to face. I'm in their office. They're making phone calls and they're talking to qualified people who we had already pre-qualified. So they had pre-qualified it. They wanted me to be at the office while they're making the calls to close the deal. When it came to closing the deal, one of the things that I noticed when it came time to asking for the sale, something changed in their voice rate, something changed in their tonality. You could see the change in the energy in the room, me and them. And I said, I made a mental note. I actually wrote it on my phone. Hey, what's up, D Boat? And I wrote it on my phone, and I said, they're becoming nervous when asking for the sale. They were confident talking about how they solved the problem, but when it came time to asking for the sale, they got a little nervous. And so this conversation, if that's you, is for you. Or if you break out in a cold sweat when you just have to make sales calls, and these aren't cold calls, by the way. I believe in something called the inner winner, and that's a conversation for another time. This is a master class, so this is not a conversation around who the inner winner is inside of you, but I'll bring that up later. And the person is making sales calls, and not cold calls, but just picking up the phone and following up with folks. Oh my gosh. They were like, oh my gosh, this is like so much work. And this conversation we're going to have, this is for you. I want you to know you're at the right place. If you don't want to sound overly salesy, you don't want to come across as someone that is just trying to sell someone else. In fact, there's a change in industry. When I got into this industry 15 years ago, because I was forced to do it, you had to be an extrovert. You had to have this charisma. You had to have this personality that drew people into you, either over the phone or face to face, because that was really how 90% of sales were done. But that's changed. And the reason people were selling salesy is that they were using a sales script, and they sound like a robot. You could tell they were using a sales script, even when they were talking to someone, asking questions. In fact, if you're taking notes, someone take the first note. Someone put this note right below the video for me. Put this note. This note is very important, and here it is. Scripts are for actors, and you are not an actor. Put that down in your notes. Sales scripts are for actors, and you are not an actor. So if you're using a script and you're sounding salesy, then you don't want to come across as sounding that way. So scripts are for actors, and you are not an actor. Or you don't want to sound like your coach when you're selling. You don't want to sound like a woman when you're selling. You don't want to sound like a man when you're selling. You want to be yourself. You want to be authentic. So this conversation we're going to be having, this conversation, Alicia, I'm glad you made it how. This conversation is for you. Or, and this is the person I really want to pay attention, because this is going to create the greatest breakthrough. And you like to sell. You're okay with offering the sales. You're okay with who you are. You're okay with being authentic. But for whatever reason right now, your bank account doesn't reflect how good you are. Then this conversation, this masterclass is specifically for you. Said differently, if you're struggling to make sales, pay attention. If you're struggling to bring in the right amount of money, pay attention. The conversation is for you. Or we all have sometimes something in our past that is holding us back from being successful. And I don't know what it may be for you, but I do know when we go through the authentic sales approach, we take the authentic sales meter, which is a questionnaire, which we're going to do. And then we see where we fall on there, and we see the styles that we should be using. Then that's going to create a huge breakthrough. And sometimes we have to release something that's kind of holding us back. Sometimes it's the feeling that we're not from the right family. It's the feeling that we have too much debt. I was talking to someone, and I was kind of sharing with them that you don't want to sell from your wallet. That's something that Myron Golden had taught me over 10 years ago, meaning that this person in their past had come from such humble beginnings, and they struggled not closing big deals when it came time to negotiate and trying to get the money, because they were always selling from a place of lack, not lack for themselves, but they were so compassionate to the person they were speaking to that they were devaluing what they were offering. And what I share with that person, and this might not be your story, but I said, you know what? It appears to be Ronald. It appears to be Robert. What's up, Nate? It appears to be that something from your past could very well be holding you back. And if that's the case, then we need to change that. So Sales for Shy folks will do that. Or, and I know this is an oxymoron. I know this is something that's going to be kind of crazy. But if you don't see yourself as a salesperson, like right now, you don't see yourself in sales. And it's possible this conversation is really going to help you, because I know that with the negative connotation around sales and being seen as that slick talking fast, how can I say it? Used car salesman with a velvet hat on with a gold feather out the back, with a silver silk shirt on and some green and yellow plaid pants and some white shoes. You don't see yourself as that person. But I want you to listen to me for a moment, because you can serve first and then you can sell later, because selling equals service. I want you just to hear me just real quickly, and then we're going to move on, and we're going to talk about the authentic sales approach. But this might be you. Think about this for a moment. When you think of pastors of churches, they sell faith every single week. Teachers who get up every single day and educate our kids. I had 2 kids. They educated them in public schools, by the way. Well, one went to private school. They sell education every single day. You think about parents. I'm a parent. You might be a parent, or maybe you have folks that you mentor. Parents sell values every single day. So even if you don't see yourself in sales, every single day you are selling your idea, you're selling your beliefs, you're selling your values. In fact, the biggest sale you make every single day, jot this in your notes, don't miss this, put this in your notes right now. The biggest sale you make every single day is to yourself. So I want you to embrace the one skill that's going to help you. The number one reason most companies go out of business is due to lack of sales. So even if you don't see yourself as a salesperson, see yourself as a service person. See yourself as someone that likes to give. See yourself as someone that's solving a problem. But anyway, this is going to help you. Or if you don't want to come across as pushy or arm twisted or manipulative, then this conversation is definitely for you. Or maybe you're ready to pursue your purpose and your passion. On one of the shows of the Happy Entrepreneur Show, we had this conversation, and I was talking to the person, and they said their purpose, they help others transform their lives. And I said, well, what's holding you back? And they said, well, I don't make enough money in my business. I have to work my full-time job. You can go back and hear the recording. And I said, so you could walk in your purpose and your passion if you had the revenue to support the resources you need to take care of your life and take care of the business. They said, yes. I said, then it's worth us having this conversation. Jot this in your notes. Please put this in your notes. Please put this. I shouldn't even. Oh, good. You can't see this water bottle. I'm not sponsored by them. But put this in your notes. This is very important. Sales will solve any business problem. Put that in your notes. Sales will solve any business problem. So if you're ready to walk in your purpose, you're ready to walk in your passion, and the only thing holding you back right now is that you don't make enough sales, then jot this in your notes. Sales will solve any business problem. Or if you have untapped potential, you know that deep down inside of you can perform at a higher level than whatever level you're performing at right now. You know that. You know that. Matter of fact, I want you just to acknowledge yourself right now for the winner that you are. I want to acknowledge you for tuning into this masterclass. I'm going to ask you if you'll do me a favor, hit the share button. Hit the watch party button right now. Hit the watch party button. And when you hit that button, just put this notes down right now. Service and then sell. Just put service and then sell. Hashtag it's my time. Someone do me a favor. Hit the share button. Hit the watch party button. When you hit that button, put service and service and then sell. Hashtag it's my time. It's your time to step into your purpose. It's your time to serve more people. It's your time to reach a larger audience. It's your time to be on bigger platforms. It's your time to use automation. It's your time to have the right coach. It's your time. And you know what? I believe it's your time. Now, for those folks that are tuning in very first time, whether you're on the podcast right now or you just got this shared into your group because someone right now paid this message forward because they believe in the giver's economy. And the giver's economy says the person outgives the competition, out-earns the competition. So you're paying this message forward right now, even as you're listening, and you might be wondering, who is Che Brown? Well, I'll just take a minute or two and tell you that I'm just like you. I'm a person that's been in the field every day. I've had my sleeves rolled up. I've been in the trenches, but I'm a father first. I'm a son first. I'm a brother first. I'm someone that believes in the inner winner. We created the inner winner movement, which was that we all have a special gift inside of us. We all have a heart inside of us to serve. We have a heart to give. And I've been on a mission to help entrepreneurs who are just like me, who are struggling to get the resources that they need, the tools that they need, the knowledge and the skill and the technology that they needed in their business to execute the vision that they had. And I decided I was going to change that, because the only way to generate and get the resources was to have revenue. And so who is Shay Brown? Is I'm someone that decided that I'm here to serve. I've been blessed with a gift. I've been blessed with a talent, and that talent is to teach others how to really not only grow their business, not only sustain their business, but also be able to give back to others. So many of the folks that I work with are like you. You got a vision for yourself, the way you want to live, the car you want to drive, the clothes that you want to wear right now. Heck, one of my clients has certain food. They're now on this plant-based diet, which costs money. And they said, "Shit, I got revenue for that. I got to take care of myself." That's who I am. I'm that guy that wants to help you make sure that you get that. Or maybe you have a vision for your loved ones. Maybe you're like my brother right now, who has my niece is in college. My sister has a son that's in college, and they have another one that's on the way. It takes resources to execute the vision they have for their loved ones. And that might be you. You might be in that situation right now, or you're writing a check. I'm a caregiver. I have the pleasure of taking my mom to the doctor, of taking care of her. And so you want to write a check to someone you care about, and it takes resources. So I am on a mission. You say, who is Shay Brown? It's not about the amount of money I made in the business. It's not about the companies that we built. It's not about the letters that I have behind my name. It's about what my mission is, and that is to make sure you have the resources necessary. So I show up on these type of master classes. I show up for my clients. I show up in the world in order to serve, in order to give, because I believe that selling equals service. And I believe with every fiber in my body, and you can jot this down in your notes, every fiber in my body, put this in your notes, that people will pay you today if you help them solve a problem today. We're all in the problem-solving business. That's a little bit who I am, but you jot that down. People will pay you today if you help them solve a problem today. We are all in the problem-solving business. So if you're listening right now and you're in the problem-solving business and you want to help other folks, then you're at the right place. You're at the right time. That's probably a little bit about who I am. I know sometimes people always want to know who is Shay Brown. And I don't normally take a lot of time to explain. I assume sometimes when people come, they know. But there's so many of you who are just meeting me for the very first time on podcasts. There's so many of you meet me for the very first time on iTunes or Apple TV or Amazon Fire, or even in the social media communities, because all of you who share this and pay this message forward. So thank you so much. I close with Who is Shay Brown with just this one belief. And it's the core belief of the happy entrepreneur tribe. It's one of the beliefs that we hold on to. It's one of the beliefs that we share. And I share it anywhere and everywhere I go. I think we have it right here. And here it is right here. Let me make sure I pull that up. And the belief is that the results that show up in your life are just as important as the results that show up in your bank account. That sums up who I am. I want you to jot that down right now in your notes. When you say, who is Shay Brown? Go ahead and jot this down in your notes. This is one of my core beliefs. I've said it for 15 years, and I'll say it for as long as I can, that the results that show up in your life are just as important as results that show up in your bank account. So you'll hear me always weaving in the inner winner. You'll hear me weaving in why this is important to you. You'll hear me weaving in making sure you take care of who you are and self-care of your life. Yeah, I get it. That the company, the Happy Entrepreneur Network, we're on a mission. I get that. And I know it is to inspire. I know it is to empower. I know it's to provide resources for the entrepreneur to live a balanced life. And that's, the older I get, that's so important for me, and execute their vision. And that balanced life doesn't mean that you are able to balance work and business. Balanced life means you're able to take care of time with your family. We only have one life. And in that one life that we have, I want to make sure that you are able to live that life not only to the fullest, because it's not about you, but you're able to do it for someone else. So when the question is, who is Shay Brown? Just a gentleman that's on a mission to help others live the vision they have. So I really have two outcomes for the Sales for Shy Folks conversation. Two outcomes. My number one outcome is to provide value. My number one outcome is that you walk away with one idea that you can use If you're like me, you're shy. All the tests, all my analysis tell you I'm shy. If you ever meet me in an event, I'm probably the quietest person there. In fact, some people walk over and say, "Does that guy teach sales?" Someone said, "You teach sales," because I'm a high introvert. So it's for you to walk away with one idea that you can use in your business, for yourself, or for your team. For many of the people who tune in, this is train the trainer content. So this content is content you take and you train other folks on it. And I'm so appreciative of that. So that's my number one outcome. My second outcome for some of you is to stay in the conversation over and beyond today. For some of you, we are the sales team that you've been looking for. And as the sales team that you've been looking for, my second outcome is for you to understand how, if you don't want to sell or you don't like to sell, the best thing you can do is hire someone who does. And we will be your sales team for you until you build your own sales team. So someone to generate your leads, someone to make the phone call, someone to set the appointment, someone to qualify the person on the appointments, and in many cases, someone to get the business for them. And there's a way to make that happen and to do that. And we'll talk about that at the very, very end. So those are my two outcomes I have. There are really three ways to elevate your sales results. This was taught to me by my mentor. I share it with you, and I've shared it for 15 years. And I'm going to get into sales for shy folks. But I want you to jot these three things down in your notes. What's up, Stephen Wilson? What's going on, Robin? Ursula, thanks for joining. Amber in the house. Barry Hudson, is always a pleasure, my man. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for watching. Go ahead and put this down. It's 3 ways to elevate your sales results. You can use this in life. It's part of the inner winner. I believe in inner winner. That's kind of results in your life. And then the other side, business is for the business. But it's called the inner game, the outer game, and action. Let me give you a one-sentence definition. Jot this down first in your notes. Someone write this right below it. The inner game is the mental side of success. So it's your belief systems. Can I sell as a shy person, as an introvert? Can I sell my ideas? Can I sell my belief systems? Can I do this in a way that I can be myself? So there's a mindset, there's a belief system. Even when you showed up today, there was a mindset, a belief system. Will I get value? Will this be a good use of my time? And my number one outcome is this is a good use of your time. So there's an inner game of selling, a mindset. And I was talking to someone recently, and they said, "Shay, I don't see myself in sales. I'm not a good salesperson." Do you know what I told them when they told me they weren't a good salesperson? I said, "I believe you." They said, "You do?" I said, "Yeah." Why? I said, because the law of belief is whatever you tell yourself over and over again, you will eventually believe. Let me say that again. The law of belief is whatever you tell yourself, you will eventually believe. I believe that you will have a heart to serve and you're going to solve problems. So you can do this. If I've done it and others have done it, you can do it. The second way to really elevate your sales results is the outer game. And the outer game is the tactical side of selling. The tactical side is the how-tos of selling. It's your lead generation systems. It's your appointment setting systems. It's your marketing. It's your Facebook ads. It's all the things you've got to do. Just like in life, there's an outer game to success. The outer game is the way you feed your body the nutrition. The outer game is your exercise. The outer game is how you go about saving money and controlling your finances. The outer game is what you do to contribute to others. So there's an outer game, and we'll talk about that. And then the third fundamental way to really elevate your sales results is action. And action is moving yourself to follow through and do all the things that you know you should do in your business. There's one thing to intellectually know to do something. It's another thing to actually do it. And I know that to be true, right? Because recently I remember my son came home to me and said, "Dad, the football coach said if I get good grades and score well on the SATs, I can go to wherever college I want to go to." And I turned to him and said, "Well, son, that's good to know. I've been telling you this now for 15 years. He says, "Nah, Dad, you don't get it. The football coach said if I do it, it happens." And isn't that how life is? Then nothing happens until you take action. So although you go through this, I don't want you just to be intellectually stimulated. I want you to really follow through. So let's talk about what authentic really means. The definition. The definition of authentic is really being yourself, being real, being true to who you are. And that's how I want you to sell. I don't want you to sell based on a script. I want you to sell based on a book. I don't want you to sell based on something that a coach told you to say. I want you to be yourself, because when you're yourself, you're not really selling, you're really helping. And then there's the actual definition from Google. Isn't that kind of crazy? Like you have to go to Webster and get a definition, and then you go Google the definition, right? Because many years ago we wouldn't even put that slide. That thing wouldn't even exist. But today it does exist, and the Google definition is very, very similar, and that's walking inside of your beliefs. That's staying true to your values. And so when I talk about sales for shy folks, which I'm gonna give you a very specific formula, I want you to know as I use the word authentic, I want you to have my definition. Do me a favor. Don't tweet this. I want you just to put this right below the video because this is so true and this will help you. And I think this sums up the whole definition of being authentic. And I want you to put this in your notes. Hashtag be yourself selling. For those folks that hit the watch party button, we thank you. For those folks that shared this message, we thank you. But when you hit that share button and you hit that watch party button, I want you to do that. Or you look right below the video. What's up, Jacqueline? What's up, Eric Watson? When you see that, I want you to write this word, write this hashtag. Hashtag be yourself selling. And as I teach you the authentic sales approach, that's really all that I want you to focus on. Just really being yourself. And you can do that once you understand your unique signature selling style and once you understand the authentic sales style. So do me a favor, look right below the video and post that note. Hashtag be yourself selling. If I could give one idea, it would. So your first question's got to be, as we now get into the cool content, is what is selling? What is authentic selling? And authentic selling is pure definition. I'll give you our definition first. Authentic selling is service. Service first and then sell, which means you're going to offer a problem to a solution. Jot this down in your notes. People will pay you today if you help them solve a problem today. We're in the problem solving business. Let me say it again. People will pay you today if you help them solve a problem today. So now that we understand with our definition of selling, we're at least all on the same page, then let's step back and ask, what is the authentic sales approach? What is that? See, I need to write that definition down. I need to make sure I understand that because I really don't know what that is. I don't know what that means. I need to make sure we're on the same page. I get it. I understand. The authentic sales approach. Here's the authentic sales approach. The authentic sales approach is really staying true to yourself no matter the situation. Let me say that again. Staying true to yourself no matter the situation and being comfortable there and knowing what words to use that match your DNA, match your expertise, and match your experience. Sales for shy folks. And I don't know if you know this, but the most successful sales professionals in the world are introverts. And it's because introverts follow a system, they have a strategy, and it's duplicatable. Now, it doesn't mean that because you have high charisma that they're not a great salesperson. That's not what that means. But over the long haul, being consistent, when you follow a system and a structure and a strategy, the magic happens all by itself. So let me jot this down in your notes, put this in your notes. Someone take a picture of this slide right here, selling based on who you are. So as I talk about the authentic sales approach, I want you to have just this one definition. I try to boil it down to less than 7 words here. That is selling based on who you really are, the core of who you are. And this is very, very important. Sales for shy folks. The tagline is the authentic sales approach. And that's something that right now could step right into where you are and allow you to do that. But Shay, if you say that, you told me there's different signature selling styles. I get that. So give me another layer, Shay. Peel that onion back one more layer for it. I'm following you. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I'm smelling what you're cooking in the kitchen, but I need to know what that smell is. Well, let me go ahead and unveil that for you. Let me unpackage this thing for you real quick if I can. Selling from the heart. We're talking about what is the authentic sales approach. And the authentic sales approach is where we started. Let's just go back here. For those folks who are just tuning in, we started with the authentic sales approach. We worked our way here. And then we said, number one, the authentic sales approach is staying true to yourself. Doesn't matter. You're shy. Doesn't matter. Selling based on who you really are. Got it, Shay. I'm checking the boxes. Now let's go here. Let's go. And then it's selling from the heart. So I'm going to sell from my heart. Yeah. And so Shay, is there a way that I measure this? Is there an authentic sales meter? Is there a questionnaire that I can take? Yeah, we're going to do it right now. And then based on that questionnaire, based on how I rank, based on how I answer the questions, then that determines where I'm at based on a point scale. Yeah. And then that helps then define me 100%, but it puts me into a category. Yes. And then I use my own unique signature selling style. Yes. Based on the buyer I'm speaking with. Yes. Wow. This is a system. Yeah, it is. And it makes sense. And for many of you, because you're here, many of you are here as a guest of somebody, it makes sense. It makes sense and it makes sense. Yeah, you're right. So let's go ahead and show them the authentic sales meter, because I want them to be very, very familiar with that. And I don't want you to miss this, because some of you may have never done this before. The authentic sales meter, the purpose of it is to identify your actual selling behaviors. Now, notice there's behaviors and then there's style. There's behaviors and then there's style. Behaviors is kind of like your habits. Jot this in your notes is one of my favorite phrases. Someone can write this right below the video. People form habits and habits form futures. Let me back that thing up and say it a little differently. You have habits right now. And based on those habits, we all have habits. If I drink water and that's one of my habits, then that determines my future. So when I say people form habits and habits form future, and if we look at your predominant habits, we can almost determine your future. Just like if I look at your predominant selling behaviors, which are really habits, then it points to a trend on the type of income that you're generating. It's called income stabilization point. I'll come back to that. That's a topic for another time. I can't get into that right now. So let's make sure you can take the authentic sales meter that we'll go through right now, and I'm gonna go through it pretty quickly, but I'm gonna go through it so you can get your paper and pencil and you can tune in. And the purpose is to identify my actual selling behaviors. Well, Shay, first time I've ever been in this conversation. Really? Well, I'm not surprised. It's the first time you've worked with someone at my level. A sales cardiologist is all I do is eat, drink, and sleep sales, because I know the number one reason that most companies go out of business is due to lack of sales. I know that if you need to hire a new team right now, a new assistant, a new marketing campaign needs to run, you need to purchase new technology, you need to go to a conference, you need to hire a coach, you need to bring on a new consulting team. I know right now, if you just need to leave your 9 to 5, there's only one way to do it if you're an entrepreneur. And that is to generate enough revenue to allow you to purchase the resources that you need right now to support your own self. That's your vision, your own family. That's the vision you have for your loved ones, and really the people you were called to serve. So let's talk about the actual behaviors. Let's kind of walk them through that. Let me give you what the authentic sales meter looks like and how you're going to rate yourself. And I'm going to put the questions up there and you're going to rate yourself. You're going to put down 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 as I go to each one. That's all you have to do right now. And don't worry, I'll send this to you. But 1 is rarely true. So I'm going to ask the question. If it's rarely true, you put 1. If it's always true, you put number 5. So you either put number 1 or you put number 5. You put number 1 or you put number 5. Now, I want you to follow along with the authentic sales meter. This is like so cool. I love doing this, and I typically have only had a chance to do it. If you've been to my big ticket sales camp, or you've worked with me one-on-one, or you've been to some of my other seminars, you've had a chance to go through this, okay? And we do change, right? The person you were 2 years ago is probably not the person you are today, hopefully. And so your behaviors will change. But here's what I know about all successful people, and I'm going to go through this right now. All successful people hold one common belief. And do you know what that belief is? We can always get better. So every time I take this, I look to get better myself as well. Let's show this to them. Let's go through the questions. This is going to be a lot of fun if you've never done it. And so let's go ahead and go through. I think it's only about maybe 5, 10 questions, maybe. I can't remember. But the first one is, I always have a written client-focused purpose statement that I follow every day. Now, it's either 1, rarely true, or 5, always true without exception. So I always have a written client-focused purpose statement that I follow every day. Go ahead and write that down. So right now, put down 1 or put down 5 or whatever number is true for you. Let's go to the next one. Follow me, follow me, follow me. I totally focus on the value I create for people rather than on the difficulties I may face. Go ahead right now. No, seriously. Let's take this. If you've never done this before, do this now. You'll love it. Put your rating down. 1, rarely true, or 5, always true without an exception. And there might be somewhere in the middle. I get it. Some of you fall in the middle. Don't worry. We're going to tell you where you fall. The next one is I totally focus on the value I create for people rather than the difficulties not the company, I may face. Take the assessment, jot it down. Next, authentic sales question meter. I am completely comfortable being compensated consistent with the value I create for people. I'm reading the question twice because I know some of you are listening to the podcast. I know some of you are writing as I go. Some of you are typing on your notepad right now. Some of you are putting 5, 4, 1, 3, 2. Just keep putting the numbers. Make sure you track the numbers now. So let me go back and read the question to you. For those folks on Apple TV, Amazon Fire, Roku, hey, we love you. For those folks that are watching online, hit the share button. Please pay this message forward. We really appreciate it. If you're getting value, just as we're going through this right now, look right below the video and just put "this is powerful," or just put "good information," or put "good stuff." Just something that lets someone know that when we do these sessions, they're of value. Those what those comments mean. That's how it helps us. Okay. Next, I did this one already. I'm completely comfortable being compensated consistent with the value I create for people. I said, next question. I said high goals and my current position allows me to achieve them. High goals. Now, whatever high goals means different things to different people. I'm going to go through this a little quicker now. Next question. I view my goals and my sales role in a highly professional light, and people describe me as being very successful. 1, rarely true. 5, always true. I view my goals and my sales role in a highly professional light, and the people describe me as being very successful. Go ahead and jot it down. The next question. I always focus more on the value I can create for people rather than just on the income I can earn. Knowing if I create high value for people, I'll be highly compensated. Go ahead and jot that down right now. I hope you have your numbers all lined up. For those that put in a notepad, great. For those that are writing it down, just keep going. You don't have to know the question. You just keep falling behind, and we'll see where the score lands. Next one. I truly believe that when I create high value for people, I deserve to be and will be compensated accordingly. I strongly believe that when I create high value for people, I deserve to be and will be compensated accordingly. Jot that down in your notes. Put your score down right now. The next one. I never fear rejection from people, as my objective is to contact as many people as possible to see who I can help. I never fear rejection from people, as my objective is to contact as many people as possible and see who I can help. 1, rarely true. 5, always true without an exception. Woo! Some of you are in the middle. It doesn't really matter. Next meter question. I always first gain rapport and put people at ease, asking them questions about themselves and their interests. Next question. I always ask questions and get people talking as soon as I come into contact with them, allowing me to do 20% of the talking and 80% of the listening. Now, this is not a test, a good thing or a bad thing, by the way. It just is what it is. Next question. I always try to understand people's wants, needs, and goals, problems or desires solutions before ever describing my products or services. Let me say that again. I always try to understand people's wants, needs, goals, problems, and desired solutions before ever describing my products and or services. Next question. I am highly skilled at asking questions about people's level of satisfaction with their current products or services and the benefits they'd like to be enjoying that they aren't getting now. We're taking the authentic sales meter. We're going through this right now. Many of you are answering the questions. You're writing down the number 1 through 5 or whatever number is applicable for you. We're almost down the home stretch, but I want to make sure you get this and you don't miss it. I am very good at listening and understanding how people want to communicate and the speed they want to travel in their decision processes. Next question. When I present my product or service solutions, I always fit their features to the benefits that clients want to enjoy. Next question. Next question. I always doubly sure that my solutions will be the best ones for people before I deal with pricing issues. Code for I never mention price until I first establish value. Someone holla, someone holla, someone holla. We're taking the authentic sales meter right now. We're going through these questions. We're almost done. We're at the home stretch. Hang in there. I think we might have maybe 3 more questions. I never feel any conflict or defensiveness when people have concerns, questions, or, here's that word, objections of any kind. I never feel any conflict or defensiveness when people have concerns, questions, or objections of any kind. I am very skilled at solving problems that people can keep. I'm very skilled at solving problems that can keep people from buying from me. I'm very skilled at solving problems that can keep people from buying from me. I always motivate myself by setting reward goals to give myself when I reach my sales and or income goals. 1 rarely true, 5 always true. Second to last question. I have an insatiable desire to learn so I can reach higher and higher goals. Hope you all at least a 5 on that one. Probably 4. I don't know. Last question. I schedule opportunities each week to study and learn time with high achievers. So I schedule opportunities each week to study and learn. And learning time with high achievers. So I'm always on the case. I'm always there. I'm always ready. Now, one of the things as you're taking this assessment, one of the things that I'm going to do for every single one who takes the assessment is in a few minutes, I'm going to unleash the key. So as you have those numbers, I want you to total all those numbers together that you have right now. So you add up your numbers. So go back right now. I'll give you a minute to do that. And I want you to tally 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. And you're going to have a total number in a moment. So take a moment and do that. And then once you do that, in a second, I'm going to reveal the 5 levels of the sales authentic meter. The 5 levels of the authentic sales meter. I'm going to share where you are. You're going to be surprised. And then I'm going to share the next steps that you need to do. And it's going to help you right now. And I know for some of you, you're like, Shay, that's cool. I'm happy to take the authentic sales meter. But I also want to get some of the secrets to selling for shy folks. Like I need some things right now that can help me. And can you pause for a second while people are tallying up and at least come back in a few minutes and then give us the results? Be happy to do that. This conversation is for those folks out there that want to grow their business. So yes, be happy to do that. So let's talk about secrets to selling for shy folks. The secrets to selling for shy folks. Number 1 is get passionate. Get passionate about what you're doing. Get passionate about what you believe in. Get passionate to the point where it doesn't matter what someone thinks, doesn't matter what someone feels, doesn't matter what someone even believes about you. You're passionate what you do, so you are focused. You're in the game. You're there. You would do this whether someone paid you or not. Get passionate. For some of you, that's the first step. Another step is do one thing at a day that you fear. So if you fear making phone calls, then make phone calls. Do that every single day. If you fear sending an email to people who don't know who you are, do that every single day. I'm going to get back to the authentic sales meter in a moment. But for some of you who are tallying up your score right now, you've got a total number at the bottom. I'm going to talk about that. But for others, you just want to know, what can I do right now? Another idea. Jot this down in your notes. Be so persistent, you get criticized for doing it. You are so not consistent trying to sell someone, not bothering them, but you're so persistent in what you do. People are like, oh, you're doing too much. You're going to burn yourself out. Oh my gosh, this person just really wants to help me. I get it. But I want you to be so persistent that you get criticized for what you're doing. Another one for some folks is just speak to more people. Just say hello to some folks. Say hello to everybody you pass. Get used to smiling. Get used to saying hello. Doesn't mean y'all got to be buddies or friendly. But these are some things that if you're shy, it's going to help you in this business. The next one is appreciate people for their differences. I was working with a client, and sometimes on the inside, he's always judging how the person's going to perceive him or perceive the situation. So he's always thinking like chess, trying to think 2, 3, 4, 5 steps ahead. And I said, look, because they may have been in business 10 years and you've only been in business a year and you're trying to help them in this digital marketing space, doesn't mean that that difference is a barrier you got to overcome. Let's appreciate the experience they had. Let's appreciate what they've been through. But let's also appreciate that what they've been through has nothing to do with where we're going, because we are in uncharted water as we're in this digital space. It did not exist. There is no template for it. So let's start appreciating the differences and don't worry about that so much. Don't worry about having to overcome those. The next suggestion is really force yourself to be more public. Now, for some of you have a sales team, so you don't have to worry about that. For some of you, you're like, I got to get out of my comfort zone. I got to expand my comfort zone. For others, do more public speaking. Speak up on your product. Speak on your service. Speak on what you do. Now, if you hire someone else to do it, that's fine. That's fine. But these are some things you can do. And these are some tips for selling for shy folks. The other piece sometimes is that we just got to stay busy. We got to stay busy on what we're doing. But my favorite, and they're all my favorite. I wouldn't do these, by the way, but the next one is really my favorite. And this is where the magic happens. This one idea is worth you being here today. Just this one idea. And here it is. And I want you to put this down in your notes. Help other people make sales. So that don't mean you sell for other folks, but you really talk to them and you help them understand some things they can do in their business. And as you teach other folks, you're teaching them as well. This is very important. And I want to give you a bonus towards the authentic sales approach strategy. This is just a bonus from me to you. First, make sure that you sell the best product on the planet that exists, better than anyone that's out there, even if no one else believes it. And then second, I want you to focus on working for the customer, not your company. I want you to enter the world of your prospect. I want you to see the world from their view. And I want you to imagine that you're in their shoes and you're not worried about the commission. You're not worried about what your company's doing. You're not worried about any of that. When I'm in a conversation, I'm looking for what's not only the best solution, but not only what's a win-win situation, but as I share with someone else, and you can use these words. Some of you can say these. Hey, look, I want to work for you. I tell everybody that every day I'm unemployed until someone hires me. So every day I got to go find someone to go work for. It's a different mindset. It's a different belief system, but it's really helped me. And many of my clients have helped them. And that may help you as well. Or maybe you just need to listen and learn before you try to sell anything. That sounds overly simplistic. It's like diet and exercise. You live a long life. But you'd be surprised how many folks, as soon as the person says, oh, well, tell me about your company, and they go into this deep dive about the company and who they are and the mission and their products and why they exist and all the things they're doing. I said, now that I told you all that, let me ask you some questions. And it throws the person totally off. When the person asks who you are, they really don't care. But what I want you to be communicating is what your mission is, what your value is. The background part, they can go read on. They can go Google that. They can go find that. But I want you to be really laser focused on you and the mission that you're on. So listen first and try to learn before you try to sell anything. Remain positive. That's all about the inner winner. That's all about the mindset. Every day in sales, we get beat up. We get knocked down. We get thrown back. It's so difficult. But here's what I know is that when we do the right thing and we help people, it makes a difference. Someone said, Shay, why is it important early on in every presentation to build trust and rapport? And normally when I ask that question, the first thing people say, oh, Shay, because people do business with people they like and trust. But that's not really the case. The real reason I want you to build rapport is that when you're talking to the person, although you don't see yourself in sales, they see you as a salesperson. So when they come to the meeting, when they come to the conference call, when they meet you one-on-one, when they on the phone call or come to your webinar, they've got this. They got a big exit from. They got a big resistance. They're going to try to sell me something. I don't know what it is, but I know they're going to try to sell me something. You must enter the world of your prospect and see the world from their view. Why, Shay? Glad you asked. Because rapport reduces resistance. And so once they know that you know where they're coming from, that's where rapport is built. And I know intellectually you get it, but oftentimes it's often left out. So build rapport. But more importantly, understand that sales are built on emotions, not logic. So the sale itself, yeah, I get it. The sale itself is built on emotions. It's built on their gut feelings. It's good on what they're thinking. Now, they'll sign a contract based on logic. They'll make a decision based on logic. That's not what that slide said. What it said was, let's show it to them again. What it said is, understand that sales are built on emotions, not logic. So that trust and rapport early on is very, 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 very important. Ask for the sale. You've got to ask for the sale. I get it. You've got to ask. Some people never ask. I'm talking to someone recently. They don't have a sales problem. They're not really asking enough people for the business. And then my favorite, and I'll probably do a whole class on this, it's called Thou Shall Always Upsell. And the upsell basically means that when you offer a solution, you offer the best solution possible for them. And then you kind of share that as they stretched a little bit further, here's what the next level looks like. It's like if I was selling tickets to an event, 20% of all folks will buy a VIP ticket. Why? Because they see themselves as VIP. They want to be surrounded with VIPs. They want to be in a different circle, and they want to be with people that have paid to be at another level, but play at a different level. They don't so much pay. They play at a different level. That's who they are. So if you never offer an upsell, then you leave about 20% of your revenue right on the table. That's not for everybody, but for some of you that can control that works for you. Also, we must ask for referrals. I know that sounds simple, but so many folks don't. So let's step back for a moment because we're coming down the home stretch, and let's review your results. Many of you wrote down, you did the sales meter early on. And when you did the sales meter, for those folks who are here and were tuning in, you wrote down a number and we answered, we answered a lot of questions. We answered probably about, 30, I think it's 15 questions that you answered. And for those folks that are tuning in, it was when we were going through this section earlier, and I was asking questions, 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 and you were writing a number down as I was asking those questions. And then I asked you to go back and tally those numbers up so that I can release to you what your total score represents, and then really what the next steps are for you. And that's called the 5 levels of the authentic sales meter. So there are really 5 levels of the authentic sales meter. And that's what I'm going to release to you now. And then in that, it talks about what you need to do. This is why I love the authentic sales meter. We have that. That's something that we can share with you. That's not a problem at all. Before we do that, I do want to share, as you're out there watching right now, and you're telling yourself, Shay, this is good stuff. Shay, this is really good stuff. and you're thinking to yourself, Shay, I need to understand how to do this for myself. I need something customized. Here's what I'm going to do for you. If you take a moment, and I even see the whole sales meter questionnaire. It's a PDF file. We'll send it to you. I'll send you what the results represent, but I'm going to go over it in a minute. And when we do the review, we're going to do the review. Yeah. When we do the review in a moment, I'm going to go over the whole authentic sales meter in probably less than a couple of minutes. Some of you are going to want a copy of it. Some of you want a copy of my notes. Some of you want the meter so you can share it with your team. I get it. Here's how to get all that cool stuff, by the way. Here's how to get all that cool stuff. You would just text the word sales makeover. So get your phones out right now. Get your phones out right now. And you're going to text this number. Just show them the number. Text the number 202-270-1662. Now, once you text, like when you open up your phone, what you're doing now, you go to the section on there to send a text, and you text the word sales makeover to this number, 202-270-1662. I'm going to release to you this authentic sales media questionnaire that you can share with your team as a PDF file, and then the tally for the results. So you can go over it with your team, you can go over it with yourself. And that's going to be important. And then for many of you, we'll schedule a one-on-one customized revenue momentum session. For some of you, you want to get into this revenue momentum. You want to surge of cash. You're focusing on the 4S formula, something that we teach, something that we believe is one of our core philosophies. And some of you have seen this over and over and over and over and over again, but you will continue to see it. Happen to be on here, so I got to show it. And now, when you text sales makeover, like do that now. Put your first name so I know who you are. Put your last name. That's important. Put your best contact number, and then put your email. So you go ahead and do that. Do that now. And then as you're doing that, I will mention the 4S formula. It's our signature methodology that has helped sustain our business for 15 years. It's helped many of our clients sustain and grow and increase their business. And I've had several businesses over 15 years with the same core training, which is teaching people how to generate revenue in their business so they can have resources. And the 4S formula is S plus S plus S equals S. Jot that down in your notes. S plus S plus S equals S. Now I'm going to give this to you. Now, once I give that to you, which I'm going to do, don't worry. Once I give that to you, then we're going to get over to unveiling the sales results. I'm going to go with the 5 levels of the sales meter. You're going to have some points that you had. I'm going to go over it and I'm going to share what you need to do. So I have not forgotten. I'm going to do that. But many of you want to get the notes. I get it. And many of you want to have a one-on-one session that's customized specifically for you. So here's how to do that. Let me go over this real quick. Text sales makeover to 202-270-1662. Text your first name, your last name, your best contact number, and email. And you'll get the notes and the sales meter in a one-on-one session. Then the 4S formula. S plus S plus S equals S. Hey, how come my last name doesn't say equals? What happened there? That's interesting. Hold on, I got to fix that. I don't know how that looks. Let me fix that. It should be S, change this real time, equals S. Come on, keyboard. I hit the wrong thing. Equals S. Okay. There we go. I feel better already. There we go. Thank you so much. I feel better. Okay. So here's what it represents. Systems plus strategy plus sales equals a successful CEO. Systems beat goals every single time. It's our number one philosophy. And I believe everything is wrapped into a system. A goal is something that's always in the future. But if you have a system, it's what you're doing on a daily basis to achieve that goal. You think about McDonald's. And McDonald's had a hamburger shop with French fries and a Coca-Cola. And along comes Ray Kroc. And Ray Kroc says, I have a system that we can implement that will allow us to do this more efficiently. And I have a goal of having this be one of the largest franchises in the history that ever existed in the world. And so he implemented a system, and arguably McDonald's, whether you're in Washington, D.C., or you're in Tokyo, or you're in Los Angeles, you get the same hamburger because they follow a system, because it gets a predictable result, because it's the repeatable, because it solves problems. The system you can hand and teach other people so they do the work and your labor is never there. And when I'm working with folks, it typically comes down to a system being in place, whether it's their traffic system, whether it's their lead generation system, whether it's a system that they have right now on the words that they're using, whether it's their Facebook ad system, whether it's their marketing system. It's always about a system. So there's always two problems. The system is either not working or not correct or not in place or the wrong system, or it's the strategy. Now, the strategy, our anchor, is another one of our signature pieces, which is really the evergreen revenue model. And the evergreen revenue model says, how do I implement something one time and my labor is no longer involved? And so we teach the evergreen prospecting sequence and the evergreen engagement sequence and the evergreen sales sequence. And these are sequences that you can use in your business. And you can also use those in your life. So systems plus strategy plus sales, and sales gives you the resources you need to execute the vision you have for the people you were called to serve. The number one question that comes up oftentimes when I'm teaching is the number one question is, Shay, what in the LL Cool J is a successful CEO? And I'm glad you asked that question, because a successful CEO is another level. And it's one of the affirmations that I want you to tell yourself every single day. It's one of the affirmations that I want you to even put below this video for those that are watching the video. And a successful CEO is someone who has more cash flow. They have higher profits. That means they spend less than they make. And they also have the freedom and time to spend with their loved ones and do the things they want to do. The key there is more cash flow coming in. Successful CEO, they run an enterprise. The key is more profits, revenue over expenses. And the key is more freedom because someone else is doing the work. And so I am known as the happy entrepreneur, but I can be the happy entrepreneur and I can be broke. I can be the happy entrepreneur and not have these systems in place. And that's fine. I can still be happy. But when I transitioned, decided I was going to be an entrepreneur and run an enterprise, I said, I am a successful CEO. And that's something that I told myself for many years. And I want you to jot this affirmation down in your notes. Someone write this right below. Write this right below in the notes right now. Write, I am a successful CEO. Hashtag systems beat goals every time. I want you to jot that down in your notes. And I want you to tell yourself this 7 times a day for the next 7 days. I am a successful CEO. Hashtag systems beat goals every single time. As you're writing that right below the video right now, if you write that as a daily affirmation, for those folks who work with me, you know that's one of my number one affirmations that I love. Because I know a successful CEO has to have more cash flow. The only way to do that is to generate more sales. If I got a problem in my business and I don't have cash flow, I look to my sales and I look to my system. You got to have revenue over expenses. So you have to have the right strategy on how you're going to spend the money that you bring in. But sales will solve any problem. And then I have freedom to do what I want to do. So someone do me a favor, look right below the video and write, I am a successful CEO. For those folks that texted in the word sales makeover to 202-270-1662, and you included your first name, your last name, your email, and your best contact number, I will personally reach out to you. That's my promise. I'm personally going to reach out to you because I know that this is your time. I know this is your moment. I know you're ready for a breakthrough. And I know that you have a greater purpose than just yourself. I know that you're here to solve problems. I know you have the right talent. I know you have the right heart. I know you believe that you can do this. But sometimes we understand that success is really a team sport. And you can only get so far by yourself. And so there reaches a time where you have to tell yourself, you know what? I've done as much as I can. Let me bring on a team, but not just a team, but the winning team, a championship team, a team with some Hall of Famers. And that's what I'm suggesting. We have our one-on-one conversation. I'm looking forward to it. Now, let me go ahead and deliver what I said I was going to deliver, which is the 5 levels of the authentic sales meter. If you scored anywhere between 0 to 19 points, so you added up all your points and you only got to 0 or 19 points, don't worry. You're at survival level. And that means now more than anything else, it's time for you to take some action. Now, more than anything else, your business, as much as you believe, as hard as you work, it's in jeopardy of going under. And if that's you, then you continue to pay close attention. You're at a level 1. If you score between 20 and 39, You still wrestle with the view of selling. You understand selling is needed. You understand selling is important. You understand the benefits that it'll do for you, but you're still wrestling with it. And if you score between 20 and 39, I'm going to encourage you to text the word sales makeover to 202-270-1662. Let's have that conversation. It doesn't mean it's over. It just means that's just where you are. Now, for those folks that text in, I'm going to send you something that has a lot more details. You can go read all into it and get into the science of it. But I want you to understand where you are. Let's go to the next 3 levels because there's 5 levels. Level number 3. If you score between a 40 and a 59. Now, if you didn't even take the assessment because you ain't not going to do all this, don't worry. When you text in, I'll send you the questionnaire. You can take the assessment. You can read it for yourself. But you have level 3. You have a moderate view of selling. And right now, you might be a middle of the pack performer. That means you have some high highs and some low lows. Your habits and behaviors don't support that of someone that is a superstar. But you're right in the middle of the pack. Life's okay. You're going to live. Your mortgage isn't going away, but you know you can do better. You know you have potential to perform at such a higher level, and you're really ready to do that. And if that's you, then I want you to pay close attention. Or if you're at level 4, which some of you are, you scored 60 to 79. So when you added up all the points on there, you came to 60 or 79. Your skills are growing. And you constantly look for easy to learn and improve ways because you understand the 1% rule. The 1% rule says I just have to get 1% better than I was yesterday. I get 1% better and 1% better and 1% better. And if that's you, then yeah, I'm glad you're here. You're at the right place. You're at the right time. You pay very, very close attention. And then some of you are at a level 5 already. Woo! That's you. Congratulations. At a level 5, which is right there on the mark, is right there where you want to be. A level 5 is you are good at selling. You find fulfillment in it. But you continue, I told you superstars all hold one belief, they continue to get better. I can get better, I can get better, and I can get a little bit better. And I'm going to share with you step by step how to do that, exactly how to authentically persuade anyone to take action, plus increase your income and closing ratio. That's all possible for you. And in the wrong hands, these persuasion tactics could be used to manipulate your customers and people in your life, but you're not going to use it for good. You're not going to use it for bad. You're going to use it for good. You're going to use it for good. I'm going to tell you what that is in a moment. But first, I know for some of you, like, Shay, I just need help. Shay, I just need help. And I believe that we are the sales team that you've been looking for. Let's go ahead and we'll be back in less than 2 minutes. Let's show that to them. Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur. And if you're like a number of my clients right now, where you are sick and tired of talking to unqualified people who don't want to do business with you, or you're tired of tracking down people and trying to convince them and persuade them to do business with you, and you're just wasting your time, or you're just totally frustrated, and it's time for you to increase your sales, then we are the sales team that you've been looking for. You see, the number one challenge facing entrepreneurs today is either lost leads. That means they met someone opted on their page, someone signed up on their webinar, someone said they were interested, and no one could follow up with them, no one could track them down, and you had to do it all yourself. Or you spend a lot of time talking to someone, you spend a lot of time sending them information, only to find out they were unqualified. You're like, I'm sick of talking to unqualified people. So if you don't want to sell, or you hate to sell because you want to do something else with your time, something else with your labor, like spend it with those that you love the most, or doing something entirely different, then I want you to pay close attention. I want you to text this number because we're going to partner with you in 2 ways. First, we're going to look at doing a complete sales makeover for you. Okay, that's number 1. And then number 2, we're going to set all the qualified appointments you need without your labor so you can make sure things get done. And or we're going to have a dedicated sales team to go out and actually make the sale, get the credit card, get the contract, and bring it out. We are the sales team that you've been looking for. So it's just time for you to do a sales makeover. It's time for you to look at your whole sales process and have a structure, a system a sequence so you can be scalable and you can really generate those sales. Here's what I want you to do for your sales makeover. Text the word makeover. Do it right now. Open up your phone right now. Text the word makeover, one word, makeover, to 202-999-3515. Let me get that to you again. Text the word makeover so you can look at your business to 202-999-3515 and just follow the instructions. So all you gotta do is follow the instructions and let's make over your business. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone, and we're gonna make some good things happen. We connect again next time. God bless, and I'll see you on the other side. God bless, and one of the reasons why I wanted to share with you is I know for some of you, as you're watching right now and you're listening, you're saying, yes, Shay, I need someone to do all of my sales. I need someone to make sure this happens for me. And, you know, the system of having a virtual sales team is really the closest thing to magic that I've seen. And the reason I say it's the closest thing to magic that I've seen is that it allows you, the entrepreneur, it allows you, the business owner, it allows you, the expert, it allows you, the visionary, to do other things other than focus and being the only person that can bring in the revenue. And I haven't found one person yet that can work as a single person shop and generate $500,000 or $1 million in revenue. It's possible you might be able to do your first 100,000 or 200,000. But even doing that, you get tired of working 20 hours a day. You get tired of working 16 hours a day. You get tired of not being there for your son's football game or being there at your family's cookout or taking time to go to the movies. It's time for a change. And I'm going to recommend that every single one of you that are listening right now, if you're ready to really step into the system that is the closest thing to magic that I've ever seen because it happens without you, go ahead and text the word sales makeover to 202-270-1662. Again, 202-270-1662. Include your first name, include your last name, include your best contact number, and at a minimum, let's have a conversation. At a minimum, get the notes. At the minimum, understand the sales authentic approach, take the sales meter test, and have all of the details. Here's what I know about you, is that today is your January 1st. I know that you're incredible. I know that you have greatness inside you. I know that this is your year. I know that this is your time. I know you're stepping into your moment, and together we're going to do it because success is a team sport. I'm looking forward to connecting with you. I'm looking forward to working with you. I'm looking forward to connecting with other folks that are out there right now. I want to thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. If you got value, look below the video and write good stuff. Look below the video and say, this was worth my time. I appreciate you. Your comments mean so much to us. With that being said, I want to close by saying you're a winner. And my name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. And I believe for you, the best is still yet to come. The best is yet to come. The best is still yet to come. With that being said, make it a great day, everyone. And I promise you from the bottom of my heart, we'll make some good things happen. We connect again next time. God bless, and I wish you success. Bye-bye for now. Promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win.
Yeah.
Thank you. God bless.